Are those two green lights
Yes.
indicator for both?
Yeah.
So if we see something there is not green, I will let you know.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I am Brother Kelly Hughes, Chaplain of the Arts. We are broadcasting live to tape here at the Valiant Theatre in the heart of Winnipeg's Greasy Tenderloin District. You are watching on YouTube or listening on 101.5 UMFM Saturdays, 1 p.m. Very excited to have you stop by for Kelly Hughes Live Slices. And thank you so much for stopping by, my guest, Shler Ali. How are you?
Okay, good. Enjoying the fall.
You're enjoying the fall. That's good. You
Yeah.
got your nice puffy vest on
Yeah.
because I told you it was going to be cold in here.
Yeah.
And we're sitting on this, you can't see this on the radio, but we're sitting on this very ugly couch that
Pretty. I love it.
that I was trying to sell for basically whatever couch is for sale at the sales that we do every few weeks is sitting here.
Yeah.
Sometimes when there's no couch, we just sit on normal chairs, but we're sitting on this. This would be good for somebody's cottage, but we're not.
Yeah.
It's not cottage season. It's not that comfortable either.
Yeah, you feel like you're going
I don't
down, but
know.
I like this. It reminded me of
Yeah.
back home a lot.
Oh yeah,
The design on it.
yeah. Do you have what's the nicest piece of furniture in your house?
Oh, actually, like on time. Just recently, I got a fabric from back home.
Yeah.
I ordered it. It was so hard. It took a long trip to come all over here.
Yeah.
I have I have a sofa set which is old.
Yeah.
I just changed the fabric of it into this fabric from
Yeah.
back home, and now it's my favorite place at home, like in my basement.
Are you a good sewer?
Myself, I'm not really good sewer,
Yeah.
but I have like people who help me to do so. Like
Yeah.
there was someone from the newcomer guy who
Yeah.
used to work in as a tailor back
Yeah.
home, and he offered some help, and
Yeah.
he was great actually.
Now you say back home.
Yeah,
That's Syria.
yeah.
Is it? And you said it took a while to get here. Are there certain parts of Syria that have been a bit more functional?
Well, it's very interesting to see the Syria, the geography of Syria and the situation in Syria, like 1 year ago and now, and then 14 years ago. And I think now, I would say every area function in its own way. For sure, like recently there are areas that are suffer under siege,
Yeah.
like just recently.
Yeah.
Now I know like 2 areas in Aleppo, like where Kurdish people live. I am Kurdish, by the
Okay.
way. They are under siege. There was some like war between the Syrian regime and the Kurdish militia or forces there, KDC, and also in like some southern area in Syria, they are under somehow some siege now and under like they can't get all the what they need. But in general, some other areas are functioning better. It's day by day.
Yeah.
It's so strange and very interesting to see how people accommodate their life and their needs during war.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed Melissa Martin, who was in Ukraine for like 2 or 3 years, and we were talking about that, and yeah, that was one of the things she said was, I mean, after you kind of realize or figure, well, I'm not going to die today.
Yeah.
You got to keep doing stuff, and
Exactly,
so
yeah.
people continue to do the things because you're not just. I mean, not to be crass, but you're not just sitting there waiting to blow up. I mean, there's life to be done, right? And
Yeah.
so that is very interesting to me. How long have you been here?
Here it's been 9 years. I came in June 2016.
What was going on in Syria when you left?
Oh, when I left my home under airstrike, and I just hold my daughter and grabbed some papers and ran away. Like, Yeah, it was a very dangerous situation. Like I wasn't sure that I will make it to the other side of the city, but I made it. And after I left my home, with a few days, I knew that it seems that it will stay for so long. And I
Yeah.
had my daughter with me. She was like over a year. And immediately I decided that that's it. I need to take this, like I felt responsible for
Yeah.
sure as any mother, and I need to take this daughter, this girl to a safe place. She needs
Yeah.
to have a future. And then, yeah, I left my home in June 2012. In July 2012, I left Syria.
Oh, so you said 9 years, but that's
Oh, I stayed
13.
4 years as refugee. You don't come
Oh,
immediately. It's
oh,
not
sorry.
easy.
Yes. Where were you for 4 years?
I was in Kurdistan, Iraq.
Okay.
It was actually the only place that I could go to. Like, not that many people would welcome you as a
Yeah.
refugee. I didn't want to take very risky roads because I had a child with
Yeah.
me. So it was the only place that I could find a way to get there safe. And also because I speak Kurdish and
Yeah.
Arabic and my English was not bad, I knew that maybe work wouldn't be like a big challenge for me, as like for sure I need to provide needs for my daughter and my family. Yeah.
Yeah. The Kurds have had a lot of because the Kurds haven't had their own country,
Yeah.
and they've had a lot of conflict
Yeah.
with countries where they reside. Turkey, of course, being one that's been very rough.
Yeah.
What is the why is that? Do you think that that the Kurds are kind of set apart in those
Well,
places?
I think that started with it's a long time ago in the history, but like in my area, Sykes-Picot agreement was the big agreement that divided those people among those countries. It's politics, it's power dynamic, and the want of power. So the Kurds, yeah, I think it's the biggest ethnicity in the world that doesn't have a state. And it's been like that for so long. And not just doesn't have a state, like for me, I was never allowed to learn my language. I kept it verbally. I do some writing and reading, but it's not perfect because I only had like depended on myself to learn that. We were not allowed to learn. We were not allowed to even have like, even if you have a friend who can teach you, as kids, you don't know how to hide stuff. If you go and talk about it, then your family is all going to be arrested.
Yeah.
So it was very dangerous. So we were not allowed to practice our culture, even say that we're Kurds, speak our language. We kept it verbally because most of the people in my area, they are Kurdish. We do speak it, but like not in an institution, not in schools. So yeah, it seems like mainly my area, I live on the border of Turkey. So on those areas, you see like two cousins living on both sides of the borders because of the Sykes-Picot agreement. And like I grew up listening to my grandma singing her story for me. So in Kurdish, we have like the storytelling goes through singing a lot. It's a kind of art that we have. And so I always remember when I was a child and visiting my grandma, and she lived in a small town on the border of Turkey. So we're on northern east Syria. And in the night, she will ask me to rub her shoulders just to ease the pain. And while I did that for her, she would sing for me her story. I can't recall the singing, but I always recall her telling me how she was so mad at this border because she was never able to see her family again. The border, like the agreement was done in the 1920s, but the actual border was done later. So my grandma, after she got married to my grandpa, the border was like actually done, and then she was forever separated from her family.
So I'm not really familiar with that agreement, but was that after World War I?
Yeah,
Was that the Ottoman Empire being carved
Yeah,
up. Is that what
yeah,
that was?
yeah. It was a British-French
Yeah.
agreement, and it's
And the same thing that created the British Palestine Mandate,
yeah.
that whole
And when
business.
they talk about it, it's I was just listening on the radio to some I can't remember what was it like. It was a show, and telling how they were drawing those border, like I just imagined it when they were talking, they were drawing it with pencils. And like I thought of that moment when you draw that line, not knowing, probably knowing and not caring about how many lives
Yeah.
you disturbed, how many families you separated. Yeah, so it was yeah, at that time, but the actual border, like the actual fence was
Yeah.
done later. And then there was always, like in my city, I would always hear gun shooting when people tried to cross.
Oh,
And then they put lots of mines also
okay.
on the borders. So lots of people would die by
Yeah.
trying to cross the border.
Yeah.
And that's how people got separated, like from their families. Yeah.
It's interesting. I think lots of people immigrate to different places, but I think when you come somewhere as a refugee, it's different in a lot of ways. And I think one of the ways must be that you know, if you come here from India or wherever to make your fame and fortune, you're really coming here intentionally because you want this or this or this. And when you're coming as a refugee, it's because you just can't, like if you stay at home, you're going to die.
Yeah, you have no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and that's must be really hard.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Like, for sure, like I feel I'm very fortunate to be in Winnipeg and in Canada, bring my kids to safety, and I later, like, was able to support many of my family and friends to come and make Winnipeg home. But I always have it in my mind when I always like just on the way coming here, I was thinking and again asking myself, I always ask myself, if I had the choice, would I have chosen this? Like, would I have chosen to leave my country? I've
Yeah.
never thought I will leave like
Yeah.
Syria, honestly, until the war started.
Yeah.
And I think the main reason for me that because I was a mother, I felt very responsible toward my child, and it was like so hard to go to even to visit a doctor.
Yeah.
Like many times it happened with me. I would hold my daughter once, like we had to take her for emergency, and when we arrived to the doctor, the army were there and lots of people with guns and shooting, and we had to run away, go back home without even taking her to emergency. So like you leave your country not because you want to, but because you're seeking safety. You don't have a choice for that. No one would choose to be a refugee. But still, I would say like how I dealt with this kind of like I feel very fortunate to be in Winnipeg, and I always try to look at it in a different way. Like personally, I like to look at the positive side of things. For sure, there is no positive side in wars, but also I like to see that I was fortunate to make it to safety, bring my kids here. Where they can have a future. That was my main thing.
I guess, you know, when you were, I thought of something when you were talking about how they were making the border and they were just taking their pencil on a map and how they didn't care who it affected. But it sort of made me think of like just war in general. Like it made me think of like who, like I don't understand. I guess I just don't really understand. You know, what would make you take up arms against your neighbor for, you know, who knows what reason. You know what I mean? It just is so far out of my frame of reference. Because it just seems so nobody wins, right?
No.
Nobody ever wins.
No.
Now it When was it when the government toppled? It was last December or something?
Yeah,
Or?
it was in December 7th, I believe. Yeah.
So that's been now 10 months.
Yeah.
What's happened in the last 10 months?
Two big massacres happened. Now I understand also people being under like in war for over 14 years.
Yeah.
No proper education, no proper schooling, no proper access to like even basic needs like water or electricity or
Yeah.
so people's attitude change a lot in
Yeah.
war, and I would say not just attitude, honestly, I always feel values
Yeah.
change a lot. People lose lots of their values.
Yeah.
And then so most of the people having guns, they just fight each other, taking revenge.
Yeah.
Kidnapping is everywhere. Like you just hear a lot of news that for me when that happened in December 7th, I felt like I felt really hopeful, even
Yeah.
though before that I almost lost hope that
Yeah.
Syria will change the situation
Yeah.
in Syria. But on that day we had a lot of hope, and we were very optimistic. I was even saying like we know that there will be a hardship coming on,
Yeah.
but let's just be happy for at least one day,
Yeah.
celebrate.
Yeah.
But honestly I didn't expect that much will happen, like big massacres, people killing each other just because that you have different beliefs or different religion, or people just trying to take revenge. I don't think the situation is much better. Maybe in some areas, especially the areas of people who took control, I think maybe there is more function
Yeah.
in those areas. But in general, like I talk about myself, I don't feel safe to go,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Did you? Was there anybody on December 7th? Was anybody like talking about going back? I mean, was there anybody that you felt like, oh, maybe, anybody say that to you? Maybe we can go back.
Again, as I'm saying, like, now Syria has lots of militias and
Yeah.
lots of groups. People who are supporting or feeling they feel they belong to the regime now, the new regime, they might say we can go because they will feel safe.
Yeah.
I don't feel
Yeah.
safe. I can't say I will go.
Yeah.
So some people did say maybe they will go.
Yeah.
I personally, honestly, I seen people going for a visit,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen anyone went back,
Yeah.
like personally. So
And what you're saying about 14 years of war, if you were 11 when the war started, you got these 25-year-old guys who've known nothing
yeah,
but war.
yeah.
So yeah, what do you expect?
Yeah, like exactly, and that is the pain. Like the main thing I was hoping will happen, that the reintegration, bring those people back to life,
Yeah.
bring them back to schools, to education, resources back. Like I thought that would be the first thing we can work on, like the DDR, like the disarmament. But the problem is people who are in control, unfortunately, and it seems that it's everywhere, when people take control, they just want more control and more autonomy and more power. It's not that there are people who are seeking to reintegrate people into reality, into our like a life that you can consider neutral life. Yeah, it's so sad. Like it's very disappointing because honestly, for me, I always say, even though like we as Kurds, we suffered a lot from Assad regime. I personally have a lot of experience, like, and my family and most of the Syrian. But somehow we say in our language, we were using the regime as a hanger. We can hang all the dirty clothes on it. So whatever happened, we say, oh, but we have a bad regime. And it's true. I think all what's happening now also, it's a result of 50 years of oppression, like from Assad regime. But also I didn't expect that it will be as bad as it is now.
Yeah.
I was more hopeful. I was hoping, like I personally came here, I changed career, I worked more on peace, I went back to school to study about peace, that I had a big hope that we will start like a peace agreement among all the Syrian. But what's going on now, it's very disturbing and disappointing.
You were an engineer before?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it like to, I mean, do you wish you were doing that still, or?
Well, honestly, like I came here, yeah, I was an engineer, but since I left Syria and I was like a refugee in Kurdistan, since that time I started to work with people like voluntarily, just the people that I know, to help people navigate systems. It's a skill that you have, and especially if you have language and you know how to build some relationship among people. So that was something I was doing on my, like, beside my work always. And when I came here, first thing, I wanted to be independent. Like, I was looking for work immediately. So in 2 weeks after my arrival, I started volunteering with, like, I remember in 2 weeks, I was interpreting with a family that was Yazidi, like ISIS survivors. And I didn't mind to have it as a career. And to be honest, like, I would never regret that I changed my career. As I told you, like, I am a person that I like to look at the positive side of stuff, but also, like, I took it as a career. I went back to school. I always had it in my mind that I want to have a second bachelor degree. And I did it. I just, I'm graduating, like,
Nice.
and I'm starting my master also in peace and conflict. So I took it actually as a career. I worked in it and I went back to school to because for me, I'm a big fan of academia. And I like learning. I'm a lifelong learner. My dad was a teacher, and academia meant a lot for him, and it seems that it means a lot for me. So finally, like, I was so busy when I arrived because I had lots of family back home. We needed to help everyone. And now we have a big community here. We supported many families to come here, and finally I had some time to go back to school to have it actually as a career.
And that's actually how we met. We met here
Yeah.
a few months ago when you were with Karen Rids.
Yeah.
What was the class again?
It was art, social change, conflict resolution.
It had a lot of words in it.
Yeah, it had a lot of words in it, and it was my last like final class.
Yeah.
And one of the best, like, we went to many artists and many theaters. It was art in social change, something like that, in conflict resolution. Yeah.
Because I remember, this is the reason why I messaged you to do this, because I remember when you, now for some context, for those of you who don't know whether you're watching or listening, but if you're watching, we are sitting in I call this the back, but it's actually the front of an old church that we are turning into a performance space called the Valiant Theater. And we want to create a space for people to do all kinds of different interesting creative things, an inclusive space. And so Karen brought the class here, and everybody helped me. Did you see the video?
Yeah.
Everybody helped me clean out the balcony, and we pulled everything out of the balcony because we had some work to do up there.
Yeah.
But I remember as I was giving my spiel, and I was standing here, and there was a big group of people, and I feel like you were standing over on this side, and I could just see you were like really, because it's all kinds of different people take a class, right? And I could see you were really like listening. I could see you were really, dialed in. And one of the big reasons that I want to do this radio/YouTube show is because I want to talk to people who want to take their little corner of the world and make it better, right? Because I feel like not enough people are doing that. That's a thing that I've noticed. I feel like, because I feel like if everybody did that, the world would actually already be better if everybody just did what they could. But I feel like there are, enough people in the world who just take and use and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's up to the rest of us, to try to, to try to, like I say, just be a little bit better and be a sort of an influence
Yeah.
on the things around us. And I know that you've been working with folks in your community. How many Kurds are in Winnipeg?
Oh, I've never did the counting, but to be honest, like
I'll sit
we
here while you count. One,
I
two.
oh no, they are much more than
I know,
that.
but you have to start at one
And
and
to
two.
be honest, like there are the Kurds from Syria and there are the Kurds from Turkey, from
Right.
Iran, from Iraq. We have a big community here. Like you need to come and visit us in Nowruz, where we all get together. It's a really big party. Like Nowruz is our biggest celebration as
Okay.
Kurds,
Yeah.
and it's in spring. We're big numbers, and I would say only in my area I would count the families
Mhm.
that settled, and most of them now also got their own house. They
Yeah.
all are working.
Yeah.
Like I have, at least in my neighborhood, maybe 15
Yeah.
families,
Yeah.
and most of them are working. All of them are working. Most of them, they already purchased their own house. Many of them, their kids are attending university now. Yeah, we're trying to, like, we built a community here, and we try to build a future for us, for our families, and be part of this country also, which welcomed us, and yeah, I would say, like, most of us, we feel home here. But, like, to be honest, you feel home, but also you feel home away from home.
Yeah.
Because, as we said, like, it's not a choice.
Yeah. And then I guess a generation or two, I guess the kids,
Oh, yeah.
I had a friend who, his parents were from India, and their plan was, his parents, they were going to come here, make some money, and then go back. But they had 3 boys here, and the boys were Canadian. They wanted to play
Yeah.
hockey. You know what I mean? They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't want to go back
No,
to
yeah.
the place where they were not from. So that is interesting.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm interested in is this is another thing I talked about with Melissa Martin. We were talking about, like, it was a little bit of a similar situation in that in certain places in Ukraine, occupied areas, it was illegal to, you couldn't teach Ukrainian, and that's I guess that's a tool of oppression
Oh, yeah.
everywhere, is to deny people their language. We did the same thing here with
Yeah.
Indigenous people. But she was talking about how culture is very strong
Yeah.
in Ukraine, and I mean, I guess hanging on to your traditions and your art and your language, that's an act of defiance.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, art for me, like, culture is a big part of our life.
Yeah.
And I would say, to be able, like, I mean, every person, they have their own experience, they have their own opinion, but I think big part of integration, like, we have to be open-minded, acceptable, understand other perspectives. In the same time, also, it's really important for us to have that part of our culture in an open-minded way. Like, and when I say that, like, I don't mean that to, like, we speak our language still at home with kids. I have lots of pieces home that represent my culture. I listen to the music. Music is
Yeah.
a big part of my cultures, and my husband plays the music.
Yeah.
In any gathering, we have the music playing, like in my basement. We have lots of gatherings. So the kids are introduced to the culture through us, through this communication, this connection. But also, they are, as you said, like, they are Canadian. They have their own, like, for sure, the culture that my kids will have would be somehow different than
Yeah.
mine, and that's something understandable, and we need to be open about it. And but culture, I feel it's very important for me and for my kids also here to know their roots, to know where they come from.
Yeah.
I think it supports us personally in the, maybe they don't get it now, they are very young, but in the future, that was a big thing. Like, oppression against our culture made us more connected to our culture. We still speak our language, we sing in our language. My Kurdish costume, like the Kurdish dress, every Nowruz is a must for me,
Yeah.
even though I'm very far from home, but I still try to make it. And even my kids, they like to do it in that day. Like, I think culture is a very important part of our personality in general, and that's what makes us unique. But we need also to understand and accept each other's differences. Like, if everyone accept other people's culture and perspective, as you said, we might live in a very peaceful world. But
That's interesting that that you're qualifying it in that way by saying, you know, we're doing our culture and hanging on to our culture, but we want to be sort of, you know,
oh yeah,
open to where we are. You know, because a lot of people, you know, and I don't have any complaint about it, but a lot of people come from Punjab or Philippines or wherever, and they live in their area and speak their language, and um, uh, you know, and sort of kind of just want to do what they were doing back home, which
yeah,
you know is it doesn't negatively affect me,
yeah,
but I just feel like your attitude is just slightly different, and
yeah.
I'm wondering if it's um, uh, because Kurds didn't have their own country, and because you had to do that already. I
Um,
mean, you kind of, you know, you're stepping it up. You're not pretending you're not Kurdish anymore.
No, no, for sure. Like,
Um,
I'm attached to my culture. I'm
yeah,
attached to myself as Kurdish because I was oppressed and always asked to not say that I'm Kurdish.
yeah,
I say it even more.
yeah,
But to be honest, first of all, again, I said, like, people have different personalities. I love colors.
yeah,
I love differences.
yeah,
I feel we can be unique.
yeah.
Like, why should we all be same? It's
It's
I
not.
don't like it
It's
when we're all just same.
it's not that interesting.
Yeah, yeah, like, let's be
Yeah,
different
yeah.
and deal with different people. Also, I want to mention, my city. I am from a very small city called Kamshlo or Kamshli, from the northern East Syria. In my city, there are many. It's very interesting. There are different. So we have Jewish. We used to have Jewish,
Yeah,
but later they had to leave.
yeah.
Like, I remember I was grade 7 when the last Jewish family
Okay.
left my city. But there was a big neighborhood in my city for Jewish people.
Yeah,
We have Christian people, we have Yazidi people, we have Muslim people, we have lots of atheist people and unbeliever, even though they won't say that in publicly, like, but among us, we
yeah,
know that. Also, if we talk about ethnicities, we have the Kurds, we had Arabs, we have Assyriac, we had, I don't know how to say their names in English, but we have Kildani, Athuri. We had a lot of those ethnicities, which they speak their own language, they have their own culture.
yeah,
We all were somehow oppressed. However, Armenian, we had a lot of
yeah,
Armenian in our area. So our city is a very multi-ethnical,
yeah,
religious place. And to be honest, my dad was a big like, he always taught us to accept all other people and not only hang out with. He taught me that, like, we need to see other people. The more you see, the more you learn. The more cultures you see and you get introduced to, the more your mind will be like blooming
yeah,
and learning. So I think the situation where I grew up was like that. Also, my family was a really open family. And I like it. I love colors. Why should we hang with the same? Like, I don't know.
yeah. Do you think the more education you have, do you think that opens
I
minds?
I to be honest, I used to say yes, but I also feel like education as a systemic education itself, and when I say about that, I don't mean just in like because education in other countries are different.
Yeah.
So if you come from your own country, maybe if you have more education, you get more introduced to other people through because you go through many institutions, through university. But also, I would say not. It's not about education only. It's about how open people are to others, how much they like to educate themselves about others. Because education, maybe here, I mean, what I'm learning here in Canada, and especially the field that I chose, I learn a lot about other people. But like when I was like back home, what I was learning, I didn't learn a lot about other people. However, the institution introduced me to many other people. But I feel it's your personality, it's how much you like, how much people like to educate themselves about others. Like when I hear about an ethnicity or a group that I don't know, I work with newcomers,
Yeah.
I would immediately like just go and Google it
Yeah.
because I want to know what is the best food
Yeah.
they have, what is their costume, what do they wear in their
Yeah.
traditional like holidays, what are their holidays, what are their values, what are their beliefs. It's personal, but I don't know, education, maybe in some countries education will contribute in that and some doesn't.
And I guess it depends on what kind of education you get.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, I got part of a liberal arts education, and I came from a very conservative Christian home. And I remember in my first year of university, I took political science at U of W, and the prof was Jim Silver, who was a very kind of left-wing guy, and I I argued with him all the time in class. And I mean, I was dumb. Like I was 19, I didn't know anything, and this is what he, but I was arguing with him, and I got a 90 in the class. I remember because I was engaging, and I was listening to everything, and I was, so I didn't necessarily have to agree. And I had some classes that were not so great, but I just mean that one. Like it didn't matter that I didn't agree with them because I was engaging with the material, and I was, and I think that I must have absorbed some of that stuff because I eventually, it wasn't long, and I started moving away from what I had been taught growing up. And you're talking about, you said something about hearing, about educating other people about your life. I think something I'm maybe paraphrasing wrong, but again, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, and I want to have you, because I think sometimes sometimes we're very intellectually lazy, and sometimes we're just like those people.
Yeah.
And it just means, well, those people are all, whether you're being super racist or whatever, you're just being lazy, and you're saying those people are all this. And even like when we moved in here, like you probably noticed when you pulled up, there's like 7 tents in the park, and very poor area. We're just around the corner from the missions. And I remember when we moved in here, I was just kind of like those people, and then I started meeting people, and some people were delightful, and some people were assholes. I mean, just like everybody else. But everybody had a story.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, nobody comes out of a cookie cutter. Everybody's got a story, things that have shaped them, and things that would surprise you. This guy, I was unloading my car one day in the back, and this guy said, can can you drive me to the certain reserve? He wanted to drive me to a reserve because he had a check come in and it was there and he didn't have any way to get it. And he had a physical check there, which was like I think it was maybe part of his like residential school payment or
Yeah.
something. And he couldn't get down there. He'd been trying to get down there and he, offered me, a couple $100 or whatever to drive him out there. And I was kind of like, I'm not. And then I thought, well, I guess. I mean, I didn't really have anything else to do. And we went on this big long drive, and he was this strange, guy with one eye because he'd lost his eye in a fight, but he had done all these things, and we were driving in the country, and he was telling me about that, when he was younger, he'd worked on a farm, and like just all these things that like you'd never know. I was listening to a podcast today that was somebody interviewing Jake Tapper. You know Jake Tapper, the CNN guy? Anyway, and he said that he likes to talk to people at parties because he said, I believe when you're at a party, there's got to be at least one person there who's got a book in them, you know?
Yeah.
And so, everybody, and not everybody, I guess, has a story maybe worth writing a book about, but
Yeah.
everybody has a story, and like I say, things that would surprise you because we kind of,
Definitely, yeah.
we just sort of paint people with a certain brush, and it's just, I think it's a lot of the time, I think it's lazy.
Yeah, it's so easy to generalize. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's like people, as you said, like lazy to think critically.
Yeah.
Like if we connect with people on a personal level as a human, we think of people as humans, like try to think of them as people who for sure had a family, had maybe have kids or not, went through a lot, people who can be a person like me or can be a different, but like to think of them as a people, as not generalize. It's so easy to generalize, and people would take always the easy way. So as you said, like othering
Yes, othering,
those
yeah.
people.
And do you think when you end up in a situation like you did in your life, when you had to leave everything behind, do you think it's even more apparent that, like, because I feel like we have nothing but our relationships.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, really, I mean, I like my junk, but I mean, really, at the end of the day, it seems like what else is there? I was in this mansion today because I was moving a mattress from this mattress place I do a little bit of work for, and it was a mansion. It was out just past Charleswood, and and they had just this giant, I mean, they had art, which was nice because, we like art, but it was just like a mansion. Like, I just thought, like, I couldn't even imagine how much money they spent building this house. And
Yeah.
like, great and good for them. But it just makes me think, like, I don't know, like if I had that, if I had that money in that brain space, that's not what I would be doing with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't build
Yeah.
myself a giant mansion for me and my wife and my dog. Like
Yeah.
it just seems, a bit gross
Yeah.
sometimes because I feel like, there's I just feel like there's so many other things that need to be done.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Do you own a restaurant?
Yeah.
Do you work there ever or?
I do a lot of financial stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of like, to be honest, my other job is a lot, and also
Yeah.
I'm student, and also
Yeah.
I'm a mother.
Yeah.
I used to work with them at the restaurant after work also
Yeah.
a little bit, but now I do mostly the financial and like others. I take care of
Yeah.
admin stuff.
Plug the restaurant a bit. Where's the restaurant?
So the restaurant is, when you said we are in Winnipeg Hearts, I always like when we chose the place, I always was saying to everyone, we're in Winnipeg's heart. We're in the Exchange on Albert Street. Lots of art studios around there. Yeah,
And what's
It's
it called?
it's called Danuk,
Yeah.
and it's a big thing in our life, not just as a business that we own, but it helped us a lot. Like when we operated that restaurant, we were going through a lot on a personal level. So after we came here and we settled, we went through an accident where we lost loved ones. And I always say, like, we're like trees and we have roots. And when you uproot a tree and take it to a new soil, it takes a long time until it start to like the tree start to grow the root in
Yeah.
the new soil. But I always feel like that was like a big shake to us,
Yeah.
that again uprooted us but
Yeah.
didn't take us away. And we needed something to support our roots more.
Yeah.
And we needed something to build a new community, to stick us with the city more, because it was a big shake for us. And we found this little restaurant. Like, my husband has a master in geology, but he couldn't find that much work. Like, he needed to travel to find, like, in his career, and we didn't want to separate as a family. Like, so but he loves cooking.
Yeah.
We both love kitchen, and we love, I always say, the best conversation happen around food. We love hosting people. We always have parties.
Yeah.
And we always had that dream to have a small space, not big space, small space where we can have like community and cook for them. So it was during that time when we operated the restaurant. And to be honest, like, our first day opening the restaurant was first day of Code Red during COVID.
Oh no.
I think if we were thinking in our normal brain, maybe we wouldn't take that decision. But honestly, it was like we were under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And we just needed to do something, be busy with something. And but we had it, and look at us, we made it. Like, we are in 2025.
It's
and
hard. It's hard. I owned a restaurant with my wife, and my then wife, my ex-wife. If you want to see how strong your marriage is, run a restaurant together.
Yeah, we went through a lot, but and we learned a lot, because it's not something that we used to do. We cook a lot at home, but it's not same as when you go to when you have a restaurant. But we learned a lot like from it. My husband had a really good like, that's what we needed. That we needed a community. And he got it. And there is a really beautiful community over there. Lots of nice neighbors. He loves it. It's his happy place. Like, and I'm so grateful to, like, on a mental level, how much this restaurant offered us. Like, I mean, material, as you said, we left our country with I had a full house. I just left it. I built another house. I just left it again to come to Canada. Like, material things, especially after we go through what we've been through, we know that it can come. Like, we build those material things. They don't build us. We bring material stuff to our life. We make money. Money doesn't make us. So honestly, like, for me, the mental support that this restaurant gave us is much, much, much more important and much bigger than the financial support. Because restaurant, it's not like a very a fortunate place. Like, a restaurant don't make that much money.
Oh yeah, I know.
Especially now.
I know.
But honestly, like, we always say the community that this restaurant gave us is something we're really grateful with. And the name also came, like, Danuk. It means Danuk is the first step of producing bulgur after harvesting the wheat. So in fall, after we harvest, we boil the wheat, and then they take it to the mill, and they grind it to a different kind of bulgur wheat. But that stage called Danuk, where people boil the wheat outside in the street, all the neighborhood come together. They support the family which is making Danuk, and all the kids will come with their plates to give them some boiled wheat. And it's like a festival. It's
Yeah.
a really nice festival. And when that big saspon comes to the neighborhood,
Yeah.
all the houses, like one by one, they would
Yeah.
make it. So it meant a lot. Like even the name came from
Yeah.
a celebration. It means a lot for us.
I was going to ask you how you thought food brought people together, but you answered my question. Um, yeah, I mean, it is, it's so important for people to have community and for people to have even a physical place, like you're talking about your restaurant, or for, you know, for us with what we're doing here with folks in the arts community, you know, to have a place like this. Because, you know, there's lots of, I don't know, the world seems very corporatized, and you know, there's a lot of uh, unsafe people out in the world. You
Yeah.
know, so it's kind of nice to be somewhere where you're in among your community, whatever that is. You know, your kind of community or extended family. I mean, even I was. Uh, Again, nobody can here can see it, but there's a table over here where they were doing crafts the other day because they were you know, getting ready for some Halloween party. A bunch of our friends, but we have friends that come over once a week, and it's not all people that have known each other forever, but it's a lot of queer folks. It's a lot of neurodivergent folks. It's a lot of, you know, people that maybe don't necessarily talk to their families, or their families won't talk to them. You know, there's a lot of different things. So, you know, everybody, wherever they are, needs that community, because to be isolated, and I see it a lot. You know, in my work, I work moving people, and you know, helping people with different things and whatever. I mean, I know people that just, you know, kind of can't really leave their house, or you know, and we're in I guess our culture, our society here in North America is, I think, more individualistic, and so it's very easy. It seems a lot easier here for people to find themselves alone, whether they want that or not.
Yeah, the system here, it's yeah, we always talk about that. However, as I said, like, yeah, I have my own community. I love how you said, like, you're building your own, you're making your own corner of the world. And it's true. Like, also, I have friends who I would see regularly, but the life here, the system of the life here, like it's very stressful, to be honest. Like the amount of emails I have to read every day, it's crazy.
About what?
I get emails from my both daughters' schools.
Okay.
That's tons of emails.
Okay.
And then I get emails from my schools,
Yeah.
the one that I've done, the one that I'm going to, tons of emails.
Yeah.
And the emails from any other stuff that I'm doing. Like I do volunteer with many other communities like to support them fill paper for refugees, and then welcome them, and settle, like help them settle here. So I work with some different communities on that. But like honestly, the amount of emails that I read here, it's very different than my life back home. And I always say, if I go on a vacation, or if I can go and visit there for 20 days and be able to not even open my phone, not have my phone with me, because everything is going online. Like sometimes even shopping for my kids, I don't have time. I have to try to do some stuff online, or like the life is a bit stressful, I would say, here. And it's so easy to be isolated. Like self-care is very important, and we need to remind ourselves to be able.
My self-care is I ignore all my emails.
It's important, it's very important. It is very like I mean, I for me I can't because I have kids. Like school is very important, but it is like I'm waiting for that time where my kids can be independent. Then I don't feel obligated to open my email because I'm always worried. What if it's something very important from school? Like I can't put my phone off when school is running because my
Yeah.
kids are in school. And I don't know, maybe also being through what I've been through, it always keep me all like I'm always worried.
On alert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I refuse to talk on the phone, and I never have my ringer on. I mean, I'll talk on the phone if I have to call the doctor's office or
Yeah.
something, but I never have my ringer on, and I don't like to talk on the phone, and I don't like the phone ringing. And one of the reasons, there's two reasons. One is because when my brother was dying of cancer, I had the phone by my bed the whole time waiting for that phone call. And then the other thing was when I owned my restaurant, and we were closing, and my marriage ended, and the place was closing and whatever. I was getting so many calls from first from our suppliers,
Yeah.
and then from at one time I actually, while we were still open, one of our suppliers was there. The food supplier was there looking for his money, and I had no money, and I was upstairs in the closet hiding. And but then like collection agents and whatever after that, and so I actually I just put my phone in the drawer,
Yeah.
and I had a phone number that
Best.
I just put it away. I just never picked it up again.
It's good. It's good strategy. It is.
Well, you know what? This is we're pretty much out of time. We got one more minute left, but we're having we're not there yet with our project with getting open. But when we do get open, we would love to have something with your community over here.
Yeah.
We'd love to have some singing, some
Sure.
stories, some whatever.
Yeah, and music. Music is a big part.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get some music. What kind of instruments?
Well, we have lots of instruments, like the saz is the main instrument, tambur we call it, or
Yeah.
saz. It's a string instrument. My husband plays on the keyboard.
Nice.
We have some kind of drums. Yeah, for sure, why not? And
Good.
I love the space, so
Good, we'll do it. It's
yeah,
a deal.
yeah.
It's a deal. Well, thank you very much, Shler Ali, for stopping by. We appreciate it. And thank you to you for dropping in, because without you, what is the point? Thank you so much. This has been Kelly Hughes Live Slices. Art will save us all.
Save us all.
There we
Yeah.
go. Thank you.
Thank you.